If you're an airline traveler, as many people are these summer days, you will have noticed that there's another legacy airline merger underway. The American-US Airways merger is pending right now, and it's awaiting approval of the U.S. Department of Justice. This merger is the third legacy merger that the industry has experienced in the last several years. The first was Delta Northwest merger, followed by United Continental. And then there was also a fourth merger between Southwest Airlines and AirTran, two low-cost carriers. So things are changing a lot, and the average passenger might wonder, is this good for me? Is it bad for me? What does it mean to have all these airline mergers, especially the mergers between the established legacy carriers, those carriers that have been around for a long time? Well, one concern is that mergers raise fares because they reduce the level of competition. In other words, where the merger partners compete on a particular route, there are two of them there to start with and only one of them there afterwards. And so the reduction in the number of airlines means a reduction in competition. So generally the expectation is that when competition goes down, fares go up. Now, is that a concern in the airline industry? Well, my research done with several co-authors indicates that we needn't be very worried about the reduction in competition. For legacy carriers, the competitive effects that they exert on one another are not very strong. In other words, if we take one of them away, as would happen when a merger occurs, fares won't go up by very much. Our numbers, our predictions based on past data, show that the fare increase is very small on a nonstop route where two carriers overlap, less than 4%. And on connecting routes, of which there are many overlaps, many hundreds of overlaps, the fare effect of losing one legacy carrier is even smaller. So what our research shows is that if you add up the total fare increases on all routes around the country, when you have a merger of two legacy airlines, the total fare increase is fairly small in the grand scheme of things. It's less than $100 million a year typically for the legacy mergers potential mergers that we studied. Mergers save the airlines money by allowing duplicate expenditures to be eliminated and by allowing the airlines to get more efficient generally because they operate at a larger scale. So what we expect then is that the fare impacts of the American-US Airways merger will be modest and should not be a concern to the traveling public. Generally, people expect that who are experts expect that these mergers are, on the whole, beneficial to passengers, that the downside is small and there's considerable upside. So when you're traveling around the summer worried about whether greater concentration in the U.S. industry bodes ill for your future travels, don't be worried. Things will be fine. You'll be better off generally as an airline passenger with an industry that is more concentrated than it is now.